All right, it looks like we're live. Looks like we're live. Let me set up a few things here. This is a whole new, different way for me to go live. So when anybody does come in, if they can put into the comments that they could hear me, something happened to my mic. So right before I'm ready to go live, the mic goes out. So now I'm using the computer mic. So I need to make sure that this is loud and clear. If you're listening to this afterwards, after I upload it, if you're listening to it afterwards, please tell me what you think of the quality of the sound here. Again, I have a mic right here that I use for my podcast. Went to hook it up because I got a different computer set up here and it wouldn't identify the mic. So that didn't start these live stream off so well. So please tell me if you do come in what you think about the quality of the sound and the quality of the video. I did change up the camera a little bit, but it should look good. Hopefully, it looks good. Again, if this is on a replay, thanks everybody for joining. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. The channel is growing, and we just hit 3,100 subscribers. So actually, we're at 3,102 subscribers here on the Arizona Time with Stuart YouTube page. So channel, I appreciate it. Today, I said this last time I went live, and the upload looks absolutely terrible. Some reason that upload took hours to process when I was finished with the live, and it looks, oh, sound is good. Ancient Exploring Arizona, thank you so much. I uploaded the last one. It's got quite a few views for a live, and it took some reason 3 hours to process the live. Usually it's instantaneous, and it's all blurry. So I'm going to take it down after I post this live. What are we going to talk about today? I said I was going to go live and do some of these instead of going out and exploring, especially during these times. The cost of doing it. I've been to over 180 locations. So I'm like, let's just sit down, have a one-on-one chat with the people who follow me. You can ask questions. We can answer questions here in the chat. And let's have a good time. That's really all this is for, is to have a good time and discover some hidden gems of the great state of Arizona. Today, I launched off on my TikTok channel, which is sitting right now. I think we're at 57,000 followers in the last 7.5 months on TikTok. So if you follow me over there, it's greatly appreciated. I reposted because I noticed, just like YouTube, you have this catalog of YouTube videos, okay? 3.5 years of getting out there, paying for camera equipment and audio and trucking it out to some of these places. And a lot of the comments I get are, have you gone to this place? Have you gone to this place? And I'm like, if they just scrolled through the catalog of videos that are on the YouTube channel, they will see that I definitely have been. But most people only like to look at that first little section on YouTube, your first like 7 or 8 videos, and then they're finished. So I learned that lesson, and over on TikTok, I posted what I call Arizona's point of origin. And that kind of hooks people in. Arizona's point of origin. And what is it? It's up Monument Hill. And the last time I posted it on TikTok, 55,000 views back in September when I posted. And it is actually the point, the original point where Arizona's land, Arizona actually began. Back in 1851, it was set there. A marker was set there. It was a total different marker at the time. The marker was, at that time, it was 8 feet tall in 1851, but it became the U.S.-Mexico border survey marker in 1851, and it was placed on top of what we call Monument Hill, and it was placed up there. That hill is only 150 feet high, but it was placed up there as that boundary marker between the U.S. and Mexico. And it was then used as a surveying marker in 1865 when the territory started um, surveying the land. And I believe the first time they started this surveying of the land of Arizona was in 1865. Now, there's a marker. There is that marker is now up there. It's on Monument Hill. It's in Avondale, Arizona. And when you go up there, there is a different kind of marker than there was at the beginning. The 8-foot one was destroyed over time. In 1984, they replaced it with a flat looking cross shape. And then again in 2006, they needed to go back up on top of Monument Hill and replace the marker again because it had been vandalized. And so many people, it's interesting. So many people are like, where is this Monument Hill? Where is this marker? Where is this point of origin that you're talking about? Where all of it's very interesting because all the land was surveyed in the state of Arizona from this, except for the the Navajo reservation area up into what the northeast part of Arizona. That land was not surveyed from that point, but all other land in the state of Arizona was surveyed back to that original point on Monument Hill. So just a cool place to go check out. A lot of people said they didn't know where it was at, but it's been vandalized so many times and repaired so many times. I'm like, well, somebody knows where it's at, and they're not doing. They're not. It, I tell people where it's at. It's still not easy to find. So if you get out there, check out Monument Hill out in Avondale, Arizona. It's the original marker for surveying all of the land in Arizona. If you have a home and you own that home, you have a deed, you have a record of your property. That property can be traced back to Monument Hill. You can actually see, if you know how to work the calculations, you can calculate how far your property is from Monument Hill. Just a cool little piece of history. What I really want to get into today is two spots. Agua Fria National Monument, for those who might be new to Arizona, might like to find an easy ruin to get to. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Ironwood National Monument, Ironwood Forest National Monument. I'm on the Jeep page on Facebook, and I'm not one of these guys that's taking their Jeep on these rock crawling expeditions. I do with my Jeep. Those Jeeps cost way much money, and some of the channels that I watch with these people with rock crawlers and stuff like that, they have money for another Jeep, and so they take that Jeep and they put it through all this, and then they got to do all this upgrading to these Jeep Rubicons after they buy them. So the Rubicon costs an extraordinary amount of money but it holds its value. But then they put all these plates underneath, they change out all the equipment, and they do this rock climbing. That's not for me. The reason for my Jeep was so it was really suspension, clearance, and when I needed four-wheel drive, I had it. And there are times in Agua Fria, because I went out there when it was a little wet, and the water was running through the Agua Fria River, and it was high and it was running pretty good when I went through it in my Jeep. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, but I got to the other side and it was a little muddy. And I definitely needed the four-wheel drive. I needed the high clearance of that vehicle to get through Agua Fria. But if you go to Agua Fria when it's beautiful and it hasn't rained in a couple of days, then you're good to go. You're good to go in a truck or something with high clearance. Just don't go when it's rained in the cat. I would give it 2 or 3 weeks before it dried out. But there's a ruin up there that you guys can go and check out that's very, very easy to get to. But one of my favorite spots, somebody was asking me, look, we're new to the Jeep thing. We're not looking to rock climb. We're looking just to get off road, maybe use the four-wheel drive, just explore. I think that Ironwood National Monument, Ironwood Forest National Monument is one of the best places to go to explore that most people don't know about. I actually wrote the directions down here because it had been a year since I've been out there. But I went out there with a buddy. We went out searching for a petroglyph site that the Southwest archaeology people have gone out and they have written down. And I saw it in some books. And I'm like, I got to find this place. But the first time we went, I'm going to do a podcast on this too. If you haven't checked out the Arizona Timeless Tours podcast, you can find it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, all across all the podcasting platforms. But I like to do stories on that podcast. And the story of how we actually found the petroglyphs in Ironwood Forest is a good 30-minute podcast. I'm going to kind of go into that here. When you go out there, just know this. There are no roads in Ironwood Forest National Monument. It's just land that they've designated. It's beautiful out there. Again, you don't want to go out there after it's rained. And we've been through all this rain and snow here in the valley. Snow up in Scottsdale, as far down as Cave Creek, and a lot of rain here in the valley. So I can guarantee that Ironwood isn't the place to be at this moment. I would give it probably another 7 to 10 days before I went out there to dry out. But we went out there. A buddy of mine took the Jeep out there and got these directions, and went back in and wrote out the directions. So if you're coming from Phoenix, you want to get on the 10. Let me fix something up over here. All right. You want to take. Sorry, guys. All right. From my side of the valley, I'm going towards Phoenix. I'm jumping on Interstate 10, and I'm going to take Interstate 10 to the East Pinal Air Park Road. East Pinal Air Park Road. And it's right off the side there. You can see those airplanes. It looks like another one of those airplane graveyards, but I haven't seen a way to get access to that place because it's an active airport. But you're going to get off of there, and then you're going to turn onto North Trico. It's Trico. North Trico. I started looking at these directions. I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce any of this. So I'm going to actually write it down for you. So you're going to turn left. You're going to turn left on this road right here. All right. You're going to take that road for roughly 8 miles. And then you're going to turn right on and that's AVRA. You're going to turn right on the AVRA road. All right. These are all paved roads, beautifully done roads. You're good all the way up until that point. And then you're going to turn left onto, looks like Anway. You're going to turn left on the Anway, so ANWAY road. And you're going to take that for about 6 miles. And that's going to end your pavement journey. Because then you're going to jump onto, you're going to turn right on back onto that, what was that, Trico, Trico. You're going to jump, okay. You're going to turn right on that for 3.1 miles. And then that's going to end, folks. That road is going to end. You're going to be able to turn left or you're going to be able to turn right. But when you turn onto that road, in order to get into the National Monument area, you're going to have to open up the gate. And what I tell people all the time is if the gate is closed, which every time I've been there, it's been closed. Every time somebody that's gone out there and told me about it, it's been closed. It's to keep the wildlife and the animals inside. When you get there, just open the gate, drive up, and then close the gate. It's a very simple thing, but a lot of people forget to do that. You're going to come encounter with a lot of bulls and stuff out in that area. So make sure that the gate is closed after you go through. Make sure you lock it up right. So what you're going to do is you're going to get through there. And at that point, you may need 4-wheel drive because at that point, you're going to be driving down that road and you're driving through a wash. When I went in the summertime, it hadn't rained in months, and there was a lot of the sand was deep. The Jeep was sinking into the sand where it had to be in 4-wheel high to get through it. And so we got through that, and we drove a couple of miles straight ahead, and it's going to dead end. It's going to go to the left or to the right. And what you're going to want to do is go to the right. And you're just going to want to take that road all the way till you come to the next gate. All right. When you get to the next gate, it's going to be a couple of miles. When you get to the next gate, you'll want to open that gate up again, then close that gate, and then turn to the left. You're going to see another gate that you're going to be able to walk through out there, but you want to turn to the left, and that's where you're going to want to park your vehicle. Lock it up, get all your equipment, make sure you take plenty of water. Doesn't matter what time of year you go. And you want to park there, and you want to hike in the rest of the way. Now, go through the little turnstile thing there and walk in about 20 or 30 yards, and then turn right, and you're going to see the wash. And you want to follow that wash. And if you're there in the springtime and stuff, when everything is blooming, I've been out there at that time too. Watch out for the bees. They are dangerous, man. They are dangerous. I mean, not pink, purple trees that are in bloom. And I'll tell you what, me and my buddy were out there, and you could hear the buzzing in those trees. I want to say about 50 to 75 yards before getting to the trees. And I kind of walked around them. You'll see the bees are just filled inside these trees. You're just going to have to walk past them. You're going to keep walking it. You're going to come up. You're going to see it off in the distance. To the right, there's going to be a large mound of rock, okay, of basalt rock. And you're going to see that to the right. What I would tell you is just walk past that, veer off to the left, and in front of you, and about another probably 175 yards, you'll see another rock pile. And go there first. Go out there, and when you get there, you want to walk around. So you're walking towards the rock pile. You want to walk around it to the other side. And then to get to the petroglyphs, you're going to have to climb up that rock. And I'll just tell you, be careful when you're climbing up, because the rock is loose. Some of the boulders are really loose. They look like they're solid. They are not. Be careful where you step. There are snakes all over that area. You will hear them a majority of the time before you get there. You hear the snakes. Hike with Mike, it's good to see you. Donald, it's good to see you. And so you want to go up to the top of that. Now, if you're not a climber and you don't want to do that, then just take a telephoto lens, take a pair of binoculars, and you're going to see some outstanding petroglyphs out there, some outstanding petroglyphs. They are listed on the Southwest geology site, and they are beautiful, and you will find them there. And those petroglyphs aren't going to be as good as the first ones you just passed up, but there are going to be some very unique petroglyphs up on this pile of rock. And I've noticed over time, a lot of this rock has fallen. So most of these petroglyphs have tumbled. And if you really have time to search the rock formations around the middle of the area there, you will find petroglyphs that you'll start spotting them, and the boulders have fallen over, and the petroglyphs are underneath the boulders. So I spent about, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour in that first location. I had a great time. Again, though, your number one problem up there is going to be bees, hordes of bees. So just watch out. Just watch out for them. Always go out there with somebody else. Never go out there by yourself. If you have car problems, you got a huge problem at that point, because you're a long way from civilization. You have a long hike back to the road, And I've never seen another person out there when I've been out there. Not one individual, except for the guy that went out with me both times. So when you're finished with that spot, you'll just come back to the spot that you passed first. And that one is extraordinary. You could spend probably 2.5 hours exploring those rock formations right there. Again, be careful when you're climbing up those things. It's unstable. It just is unstable. Again, lots of bees when we were there around that area. So I was going around certain areas. That's why it took me so long. But when you get to the top and you're looking around, you want to look around the other side, and you're going to see some amazing, amazing petroglyphs up there. It's it's an extraordinary spot, Ironwood Forest, um, National Monument. Just an extraordinary area. And the fun thing about being out there is most people don't go out there. Again, I didn't see anybody else out there. And you get to you're out there in nature, just enjoying yourself and finding these ancient sites with these ancient petroglyphs. And it's so peaceful. And you just sit there and you take it all in, after you're done doing all your research. Because every time I'm out there, I'm shooting a YouTube video. And the days coming for me shooting YouTube videos, I think they're really slowing down. That's why I'm doing these and leaving these lives up on my YouTube channel for about a week or two at a time, is because we're in these times, and hopefully they'll end soon. And just really truly honestly, to put the money together for some of these adventures has been a lot tougher than they were a couple of years ago. And to get people to go out there with me was a lot easier. So their work times and the way that my buddies that went out there with me before, their work times have totally changed. And so I really don't have anybody to go with. So if anybody ever wants to go on one of these adventures, just hit me up with an email or leave it in the link, and maybe we can hook up and go on one of these on my next petroglyph adventure. But it's just a great spot. It really is. Beautiful hike. Not tough. Not tough. We were out there in the summertime, but we got there early, and it was cool, but it got hot quick. And you just got to watch out for the animals. But you're going to see. I saw some. That's probably top 5 petroglyph destination that I've been to, and I know a lot of guys that I've followed that do. They're out there looking for petroglyphs every day. They're in a different location. I've probably personally only gone to about 22 of these sites in Arizona, and I think that's top 5 because I saw petroglyphs out at Ironwood National Forest that I didn't see anywhere else. The other 2 places are definitely number 1 to me is Sears Point. It doesn't get any better. I don't care where anybody's gone. I've watched most of everybody's videos that I follow that go to these sites, and they think that these other sites are better because they spotted a certain petroglyph. But when you're looking for ancient petroglyphs and a wall that is like no other wall, I believe, in the state of Arizona, it's Sears Point. But that's getting off topic. Like, I would love to do desert hiking. It is the complete opposites from my swamp hiking. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's definitely a little bit different. It's it's one of those. When I first got out here to Arizona, all I did was hike. If you go back through my YouTube videos, you'll see hiking videos are my first. Well, in my first 20 videos, there's at least 8 hiking videos on there. And I was all over hiking these trails. But problem was when you're videoing, when you're putting a YouTube video together, and you got to go back and forth with the camera. Put it up here, walk up, go back and get the camera, walk down, go up here. You're actually hiking these places 2 times instead of once. And I was in great shape. I was probably at least 11 to 12 pounds lighter than I am now a couple of years ago when I was doing all this hiking. But I take these glasses off, the old man glasses. My eyes were always like better than 20/20 for years and years and years. And then I hit like 41, and all of a sudden, things were getting harder to read. And then I hit like 43, and it was done. The paper, the paper has got to be like 4 feet away for me to actually read it. And then I have to wear these readers. Woo! And they do a job on the eyes. So anyhow, head out. If you're looking to get out, you're looking to do a little bit of 4-wheeling, you're looking to get off-road a little bit, you're looking to explore a little bit. Number 1, head out to Agua Fria National Monument. Do a little exploring. Don't go after it's rained or snowed. And then Ironwood National Forest, which is a national monument, and it's a recent national monument. A lot of people on those Jeep pages ask me, where have you go? And I'm like, again, I'm not a rock climber, so I like Ironwood National Monument out there. I like it out there, and they're like, we never heard of it, and that's very surprising. But a lot of people have never heard of Ironwood, so go out there, check it out. Cool spot. Cool spot. Got a few people on here. Anybody got any questions? I don't want to be on here too long, but I do want to go over some hidden gems and some hidden spots. I have a book here that I was looking at that I took off the bookshelf there, and all of these little tabs in here. These all the places that I've definitely hit in the great state of Arizona. If I went through some of them, here's a spot. Here's a spot. So let's say you can't hike. There are people that follow me on TikTok that are so grateful that I go out and do these things, because they're like, we can't get out and do these kinds of things. Some people are in wheelchairs. Some people have just issues hiking and getting out. So they watch my TikToks, and I love that. I think that's awesome. And if you can't get out, if you have an issue hiking, one of the best places to look at petroglyphs is the Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve. It used to be, this book is old because it calls it the Deer Valley Rock Art Center, but it's the Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve, run by Arizona State University. They have, what's the coolest thing about this place is it's surrounded by a subdivision. It's about 100 yards off of a subdivision. It's the most interesting location that they have preserved with these petroglyphs, and they're dating some of these. You gotta, when you read the signs, you go by what they say. Some of these petroglyphs are over 2,000 years old, they state. Some of them is, I believe it's from 500 to 2,000 years. I can't verify that, but their brochures say that. I've been out to Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve 2 times, and you go through, I think it's $7 or $8. They got a beautiful museum there, clean museum. And then when you go out the back door of the museum, you start going up this 1/4-mile path. And as you go up the 1/4-mile path, on the right is that basalt boulders, thousands of them. And on those boulders are the petroglyphs, hundreds of petroglyphs. Now, when I first got there, here's a little information. When I first went there and looked at these petroglyphs, I couldn't find any. I could find like 1 or 2, and I'm like, this isn't worth my time. And you actually want to go up to the top of the path and start looking, and you'll start seeing a lot more petroglyphs. But they have these little iron poles. And up at the top of the iron pole, there's like a small little thing to look through, the little iron thing. You don't want to put your face too close to it if you're up there in August. But if you look through the hole, they point exactly to where the petroglyphs are at. I missed that the first time. It took me hours to figure that out when I was up there videoing. And people were trying to spot these petroglyphs. I'm like, nobody reads the brochure. Nobody. And I'm like, in the brochure, it says, look through the little poles we got stationed. There's like 7 or 8 of them as you go up. And if you look through that pole, it points you exactly to the petroglyph. And then when you look up there, like, my gosh, how did I miss this beautiful petroglyph? So Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve, really a cool spot. It really is. So if you have issues going out and you can't hike, that is a spot that you'll want to hit to check out some awesome petroglyphs. Let's just go through here a little bit, and then we'll end this live here. Let's go through here and see if there's any other spots to head out to. Ah, yes, the Painted Rock. The Painted Rock off of the I-8. So if you're going from Phoenix and it's going towards San Diego, if you were going on vacation to Carlsbad or something, this is the directions. This is where I go all the time, and I passed the sign for the Painted Rock at least on 5 trips to California. And from where I am, if you take like Queen Creek Road and you get on the I-8 from there, I would say it's roughly 15 or 16 more miles on Interstate 8, and you will see the Painted Rock exit. The sign there says for Painted Rock. And I don't take too many people to the Painted Rock when they come looking for petroglyphs. And one of the reasons that I don't is because it is a unbelievable. It, it takes no searching, especially if somebody's coming out with me that's never seen a petroglyph before. They're coming from the northeastern part of the state, and they come and we do a tour. I wouldn't take them to Painted Rock, because it's an unbelievable amount of riches right there in front of your face. You get out there, when you get off the exit, I want to say, I wrote this down, to maybe 8 or 9 miles off of Interstate 8, and you'll veer off to the left a little bit onto a dirt road, and you're going to come to this Bureau of Land Management area, and you're going to park. And I think that it says it's like $2 or $3. You actually put it in an envelope and put it into their little bin there. But you're going to see a group of rocks stacked up right there. People who have come through Arizona for the last couple hundred years, in the area for the last couple hundred years, is the Painted Rock out there by where the Oatman massacre happened. Poston, who they call the father of Arizona, wrote about that place in the early around the 1830s, 1840 time frame. A lot of people have written about what we call today Painted Rock. There are hundreds, folks. I don't know the exact number. Let me see if I put it down here. Did I put it down here? I want to say that they say there's like 12 to 1,300 of these. I would guess that there are more, but just think about it. You're standing in front of a rock formation. There's nothing else around but this rock formation. It's very weird. And there are over 1,000 petroglyphs covering all the rocks out there. An unbelievable amount of riches of petroglyphs out there. You don't have to hunt for them. You drive down a paved freeway to a paved road exit to about, I don't know, a mile of a nice dirt road to BLM, Bureau of Land Management land. And you get out of your car and you walk over to these boulders, and you're looking at over 1,000 beautiful petroglyphs there. So if you're looking for another place, the Painted Rock, you're not looking out to hike. You're not looking to drive out on roads that are, that are terrible. They're going to take you hours to get to in your 4-wheel drive vehicle, and you don't have that kind of time. But you want to take somebody from out of town. You want to go to Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve, and you want to go to the Painted Rock off of Interstate 8. Absolutely an unbelievable place. I did videos. I have YouTube videos out there on all this stuff if you want to check them out. Another great place down around Tucson is Signal Hill's it's a tourist destination, very easy place, very easy path to go see some cool petroglyphs. And that's Signal Hill down there around Tucson, Arizona. All right. Well, I didn't have a lot of people in on this to do these kind of lives for future. Not a lot of adventures coming up, unfortunately. You want to help support the Arizona Timeless Tourist across all my platforms. You'll want to donate to my PayPal account. That's when I'm gonna be honest with you. When the PayPal account has money in it, I go out and buy or put it towards equipment or putting it into the Jeep gas tank to be able to take more adventures. So as soon as there's like $40 in the account, I'm out on an adventure. And I will definitely always video those adventures. So if you want to help support the Arizona Timeless Tourist, just check out the PayPal link on this YouTube channel. If you're looking at it on the PC, it's in the top right-hand corner. If you're looking at it on your cell phone It's in the you go to the About section, and it's under Dean's Adventure Tank. That's the PayPal link. Next week, I'll put something else together. This was just a brief little chat. Next week, we'll put a certain time. I'll start uploading videos and stuff like this over maybe on Monday, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We will do these for 60 minutes. And if people want to, they got people coming into town, they want to hire me. Look, you guys can hire me for one-on-one tours. We can go on tours. I provide 3 tours. You can check out my YouTube channel under the Arizona Timeless Tours, and that'll tell you. If you're live with me and you're interested in those tours, you'll want to stick it in the chat, and we can set it up on the live. Jewel, good to see you, Jewel. You'll want to you can come in the live, and you can ask me, and I can get your email, and I can email you right after the live on the tours. The 40-minute consultations are going good for me right now. So if you got people coming in from out of town, you want to set up a cool spot to take them, I still provide those 40-minute one-on-one consultations. And I do speaking engagements still, but most of them are on Zoom now. So you can hit me up for that too. I hope this video looks good. Changed up the camera, changed up the computer a little bit. Unfortunately, the mic couldn't be hooked up to this computer. So hopefully the sound is good and the quality is good. Want to bring you good quality. All right. Thanks everybody who joined. I appreciate it. Appreciate thumbs up. Appreciate the comments. And if you come back and you re-watch this, I appreciate everybody who supports the Arizona Timeless Tours across all of my platforms.